And I believe we're live, and I have the hiccups. I'm just going to like out myself right off the bat. I'm sitting here with the hiccups. Live with Debbie G.
Hi, everybody.
Channel, but we have some obstacles in our channeling tonight.
It's what? Okay, like life today has proven obstacle day. I'm pretty sure, David, that it has been a obstacle course. I did go down my spiral. Well, I didn't really go down my spiral. I was just sort of complaining a little bit.
About what?
Well, certain people making decisions that I don't necessarily agree with, and people not following through with what they're supposed to follow through with, and that gets on my nerves, and it has to do with my own boundaries.
So you're talking about stuff in your professional life?
No. Well, it's professional too, but it's just sometimes things just don't come together the way I think they should, and when that happens, I get to choose how I'm going to deal with it. And today I was a little complaining. I don't know. Today I just felt like some people were just they got smacked by the stupid stick. Now, I realize that's judgmental, but it's the truth. Anybody ever feel like somebody got smacked by the stupid stick and you're on the other end of that? Well, that's a terrible way to think, and it's a horrible place to be. I'm just being honest. So I had to get myself away from that and then realize that it's contagious. So I don't want to join them. So I need to probably get my attitude cleaned up. So I had to go back up the spiral. And really, what happens when I get that frustrated, when I'm like, so much is going on that I'm like, and I'm ready to just implode, it's probably I have taken on more than I need to be taking on. And there isn't anything outside of me, David. Did you know that? That's creating my reality. There's nobody even in my house.
I have heard that. I've heard of that concept. Yes.
Okay, but look, we did an Airbnb, and dude freaking left track.
An Airbnb?
No, I Airbnb'd the room because it's vacant for the week. And I let somebody Airbnb it. And dude leaves trash, and he was smoking upstairs in the bathroom. This is a 3-story house, so I don't smell it up at the top, right? I can't. If somebody's up in that bathroom smoking, obviously I'm not going to smell it because I didn't. So when I go up into the room today, I realize he was smoking it. Oh my God. So then that just started me on a whole journey of irritable, like, because I thought that was radically disrespectful and not.
So you're going to leave him a 1-star review, right?
I haven't even decided how I'm handling that yet. I just was like, look, that's what I mean. Like, somebody smacked with a stupid stick. Like, when you Airbnb and like they show up into their room, and you're at my house, it's like you have your rolled towels that are brand new and washed, and I had snacks on the side and their water bottles. I went and got Voss water bottles for them, and so anyway, I'm not sure what Brian says. What, the blood clot? He's smoking pot? No. He wasn't smoking. You know what? Weed doesn't stick. Cigarette smell in my house sticks.
Yeah, weed doesn't smell as bad as the cigarette smell.
No, the cigarette smell was putrid.
Yeah,
but anyway,
go into somebody's house and do that, and the whole thing about Airbnb is that you're a guest.
Yeah, and I told him, like, if you're gonna smoke, I mean, please do that outside. No drinking, no smoking. It's real simple. I'm just not about that. Anyway, so I had to decide, okay, he was really cool while he was here. He was quiet. I had to find all the good things, right? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, but he's still disrespectful, and it's irritating me.
Yeah, so the Taiya approach, though, is you got to trace back and figure out how you manifested him into your life. I know, and that part sucks. It's so much more fun just to be mad about it and talk about what assholes.
Well, how?
I get it. I get it, but it's more constructive to say, okay, how did I align with this to allow this to happen, and what am I teaching myself in this moment?
Right. And what I taught myself was I don't like Airbnb so much. No.
Brian Zen says, I like weed friends. I have to tell you a funny story. So we live in, Debbie and I both live in Southern California, a few hours apart, but we live in Southern California where smoking marijuana is completely legal here, and it has been for quite some time at this
It's
point.
a thing.
And I was sitting in the house. Michael and I don't smoke. We know a lot of people that do. We're around it all the time. It's no big deal, but we just don't. And we were in the house the other night, and Michael calls me in the kitchen. He's like, David, come here. And I went into the kitchen. He's like, do you smell that?
Yeah.
And it was weed. And I said, yeah. And he said, someone's smoking weed. And he talked about it like it was some cool thing. And I was like, it's legal. You know, why did you bring me over here to smell somebody smoking weed when it's perfectly legal? It's not cool anymore because it's legal. You know, when we were younger and you smelled weed, it was that cool that you smelled weed somewhere, right? I was like, who cares? It's like somebody smoking a cigarette. Who cares? But it was cute. It was really cute that he thought it was so cool that someone was smoking weed. You could smell it in the backyard. It was really a funny moment.
That's actually
At least I enjoyed it.
I do think that's pretty.
It's like, come here, man, come here. There's someone drinking a glass of wine over there.
Did you know? Yeah, I mean, it's like going to the pot store here is like any other store. You smell your neighbors too, Greg. Look, that's funny, you guys. But yeah, this wasn't cigarette, but this was cigarette. This was not it. And I quit smoking like a year ago.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is it's your house, you know, it's your Airbnb. They're coming in as a guest, and they should respect your space, and they didn't respect your space, and that's not cool.
How did I manifest it though?
And it's okay to complain about it. It's okay to call them a couple of names if that makes you feel a little better, but then move on to how did you manifest that scenario?
I did. And how did I manifest? Well, I think I get bored and manifest scenarios just for my own entertainment. Seriously, to see how because I go back and observe it. I started asking myself a couple questions. Number one, how did I put on weight? Because that's just not my forte. How did I do this? Why did I do this? Oh my God, David.
Oh, I know how I did. I know how I put on weight. I started baking during COVID.
I started chewing. I chew. I put it in my mouth. Choices. It's all choices. Choices. Yeah. But normally if I'm manifesting something, it's because somewhere along the line, I've said a yes when I meant a no, or I just let things slide without addressing them when they need to. Stuff like that. Like I've got all kinds of reasons why I manifest stuff, but mostly it's if I think I did this one just so that I could test my ability to not get mad. I didn't get too mad.
I will tell you because as you know, I went through a whole fitness journey over a 10-year period of time, but it culminated in last year. I was in the best shape of my life at 51. I was ripped at 51 and the leanest I'd ever been as an adult, more lean than I was in my 20s at 51. And I was so proud of it. I posted that picture that got thousands and thousands of likes on Instagram and all that fun stuff. And then during COVID, you know, the gym shut down. Then we start cooking and eating for recreation.
Yeah.
And then I learned how to bake. You know, I've never been a good, and I know we're talking about weed earlier, but I mean really bake. And I learned how to bake, and I got pretty good at it. So I started making olive oil cakes. And then I made banana bread. And then for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, I made pies. I made my own pie crust for the first time. Christmas, I made a 4-layer red velvet cake before Christmas. And then it all sort of exploded on Christmas Day. I made a coconut cake. And the coconut cake recipe that I made had 5 sticks of butter in it.
This is the one you threw away, right?
We threw most of it away. It had 5 sticks. It was amazing. It tasted great, but we're like,
I can't even imagine a 5 sticks of butter cake batter.
It was good. It was good, but definitely have put weight on during COVID, no doubt. But I realized that I was starting to hate on myself for gaining weight.
Me too. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then I thought, oh, no. First of all, the fear of going back. You know, I used to weigh 300 pounds. I know you used to be a lot heavier too.
I used to weigh 300 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I took that off. I've had that off for over a decade. I'm not. And that little bit of fear of I'm going to go back there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh, that was, I think it. And Brian, I love you for saying that, but I'm telling. Oh, the tamales, dude. The tamales. I ate the tamales, Brian. of course I had
Tamales give
tamales.
me indigestion. I love
I'm
tamales.
a tamales freak, but it's Christmas, and
Yeah, I
I
have
grew up.
made tamales from scratch. I love tamales, and I
I do too.
even have a tamale pot.
Okay, wait,
But they
but
give me indigestion. I can't do it.
here's the horrible thing. Now, this is horrible. Del Taco, and this is not a plug for Del Taco, anybody. Del
Yeah, not
Taco
on Stephen David
had
show.
tamales.
The Stephen David is not down with Del Taco, so no.
No, but I was down with the Del Taco tamales. I'm telling you. So here's what I know. I was doing that same thing, kind of like I get a little. There's some trauma when I weighed that much, and so right now I'm like, but seriously, I'm looking, going, I'm no. This is okay. So there's only one thing to do: make new, big, better choices. So today I ate an avocado salad, and that's really, it's all about the
Well,
choice.
it's about getting into the vibe of whatever it is that you want. But if the vibe of I hate myself putting on weight, so I want to go on a diet and try to lose weight, that doesn't work ever, 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 ever. That's why diets don't work.
Diets don't work.
The only way you lose weight, and I have lost and gained plenty of weight in my lifetime, is you get into the vibration of healthier habits, which means healthier eating habits, less calories, and burning more fat through exercise and putting on some muscle. And it works. I just choose not to do it sometimes. And that's my choice. So I cannot then beat myself up for the result of my choice, though. That's the thing. Because if I start beating myself up about it, I'm just going to create more of it because that's what I'm focused on.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And that's, so if we're focused, if I'm sitting around focusing on feeling like I could roll out of my front door, then that's where I'm gonna, and that's what I've been doing.
I call it the more Buddha-esque version of me.
God, David. It is okay because it
Buddha-esque.
guys, oh Lord help me. It is a little more Buddha-esque.
In all my Buddha statues, dude is happy.
Dude is happy, but dude is fat.
Happy. We have to remember that.
He's fat and happy, David. He's fat and happy.
Yeah. I don't happy and skinny and miserable, and I don't mean that those things are synonymous. They are not.
Well, honestly, to tell you the truth, I got you on this because I remember when I was really thin for a long time after I lost all the weight, and then I remember though that wasn't the happiest time of my life, period. In fact, I used to call myself a grand illusion because when I get dressed up and everything, it's just like this grand illusion. And I always used to think that's how bad my self-image was, funny things that we tell ourselves. And, but it is really important today to be like really straight and honest about where we all sit and how that we manage to get around that. There's some crazy stuff happening out there, David.
Yeah, I've heard. My primary news source, which is TikTok.
I'm sorry.
No, I was flipping through TikTok. I do like TikTok. There's a lot of things to learn on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
TikTok is more educational than any other social media platform I've ever encountered. I love it. And what's dominating TikTok today, in case you kids haven't noticed, is that there's a little thing going on in Washington, D.C. here in the United States where our government is attempted to be overthrown a little bit. And I guess Kim and Kanye are splitting up and getting a divorce. And like every other TikTok is about one of those two things.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what's more troubling, Kim and Kanye splitting up or the government.
I didn't know Kim and Kanye were together. So this is good. I mean, I learn something new every day. I tell you, TikTok actually.
TikTok then. I don't know how I'm on the Kim and Kanye TikTok, but I am. And apparently, they're not doing well as a couple. So.
Well, that's kind of a bummer for Kim and Kanye. But Greg, yeah, TikTok news is probably more accurate. Yeah, I could.
It's just everybody's opinion. There are some. There's a couple of news feeds on TikTok that I really like. If I'm going to pay attention to news, I want it to be as sort of unbiased as possible. But it's all human delivery, so you're never going to take that out completely. But I like things that kind of stretch my mind and challenge me a little bit. I'm not one of these. I went through my spiritual evolution of turning the news off completely, and I hear a lot of people say that. And if the news takes your vibration down, you absolutely, in my opinion, should turn it off, because my stopgap is there is nothing worth me going down the spiral over.
That's right.
So if I'm seeing something and I'm feeling my vibration going down and my anger going up, I've got to move away from it. Mm-hmm. But I've gotten to a place really where the news doesn't bother me anymore. whatever's going on is not troubling to me on that level. But yeah, there are things that I look at and I'm like, wow, that's it's not a good thing ultimately to see that happening, certainly. But it's an interesting time. It's a very interesting time across humanity. And we, those of us that are into this, energy stuff and this spiritual stuff, definitely know that there's more going on than just that. That's kind of a byproduct.
Yeah.
Going on energetically in the world, and we can get into that with the stream if anybody wants to, or Debbie, you and I can just continue to chat and take the whole hour just being us. We're happy to answer questions. If you have questions for the stream, you can type those in. If you have questions for Debbie or myself, you can type that in. Whatever it is, whatever you want to talk about. We're not going to focus solely on politics here. We can talk about anything that you want to talk about. It's just an interesting day in the United States. There's things going on that I never thought I would see. Did you ever think you would see things like that?
Yeah. Honestly, this is not an ounce of this surprises me, not even for a second. And you know why? Because if you look back at our history and you look at it's been a couple hundred years since we've had true ratification of some of the things that need to be ratified. And that's just all there is to it. And right now, I say get your popcorn out and stop chilling with the opinions, because they don't really matter anyway at this point, and just watch what's going to happen. Because if we could all just really mind our own vibe right now. And I noticed that earlier too. Look, David, I don't normally crab up or get cranky. It's really not my thing. I'm not a real cranky person.
I haven't really experienced. I've only experienced you cranky once, and it was toward the tail end of a live event that you put a lot of work into.
Yeah,
you were cranky that day, but that was it. That's the only time I've ever seen you cranky, and I've known you for 3 years.
Yeah, I don't get to. It takes a bit. Usually it's tired, hungry, or something like that. But I noticed today it's like I was kind of a crabapple, and I also am aware. Wasn't aware at first, but then became aware that collectively people are up in arms right now, and I'm like, okay, so which one of the 100th monkeys do I want to be today? Do I want to be the one that's going with that, or do I want to be the one that can hold it to, that's holding my own vibration where it needs to be, and forgiving myself for maybe getting a little crabapple? It's all right to get a little crabby. I didn't bite anybody's head off. There wasn't too much damage done. This is good. But yeah, well, here's the thing, guys. If we see, because I see that, Brian, if we talk about that, then we're just kind of going along with that vibe. Let's just talk about something better, like how we're going to do 2021 and design our life on purpose and with intention. And the cool thing is that I'm going to plug Taiya. With Taiya Bootcamp, there's this part in Taiya where, and David, you posted about this today. You code your life.
Oh yeah.
Create the code that you want for your life.
I wrote my code today.
And I was thinking how it's
about that today. Yeah.
It's time for me to do the same thing, to write the code. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, then book a session at thestreamofdavid.com/Taiya. Morgan says, every time I feel irritated, I'm so conditioned to immediately go to see what is up with me. Totally. Right? Yeah, totally. So, yeah. And Carrie says, yeah, let's talk.
That's the thing to do about it. We talk about stop gaps in the Taiya practice now. Create the stop gap. So if you turn on the news and you see the Capitol being stormed and it takes your vibration down, understand that you allowing that to take your vibration down is going to impact your bubble of reality.
Yeah.
Your bubble of reality. And we all create our own bubble of reality. That's why there are people storming the Capitol, because they've created a bubble of reality where that's what they need to be doing right now.
Yeah,
and people, really upset about that because they've created a bubble of reality where that's what they need to be doing right now. But we're not doing that. We're here having a good time. We can talk about it. We don't have to avoid it. We don't have to hide from it. We're not vampires hiding from the light.
Well, speak for yourself, David.
So I love that we can talk about it and chat about it and keep the vibe high.
Yeah.
and just say this is just something that's going on. It's interesting. I personally never thought I would see that in the United States. Over the course of the last several years, I definitely have gotten to where, yes, this is more believable now. We've built momentum up to this point. I do get it. But it's not shocking today, but it's surprising to me overall that we've gotten here. But if you listen to the stream, talk about how our collective questioning of even having the need for government is causing destruction, which is really interesting, and to not fear it.
Right.
Well, you remove fear and you remove judgment. That's clarity. How do you feel? That's the greatest tool in the world. Remove fear, remove judgment. How do you feel? Well, if I remove fear and judgment from that, I'm just letting all those folks have their little experience, and it is what it is, and it's only going to have the impact on me that I allow it to have. And I learned a long time ago that politics in general only has the impact on me that I allow it to have.
Exactly. And I absolutely love that. It is all a choice.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Luke. How are you doing?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Carrie is on. Morgan is
Carrie.
on.
I love it.
Angel.
Hey, guys.
And of course, Brian Zinn, love that name. Erica Lynn, hi, Erica. Look, Erica, I've got abundance in a bottle.
What's that?
Erica is in the essential oil. She's in the real deal essential oil industry. Okay. And I know now what abundance smells like.
I want to know what abundance smells like. What's up with that? Hey, guys, what's up?
She will hook you up. This stuff is amazing. I keep it on my desk and just
You just sniff abundance all day long.
Yeah, it's like when I'm on video and I'm sitting here sniffing something out of a little bottle. But
that sounds really delightful. Actually,
I'm high on abundance is what it is.
Oh my God! Please hit me up. I've got to know about this. I've got to interview.
Lynn right here is the one is actually the source for that.
That's pretty cool.
And Greg is on, and Greg signed up for our Taiya Money Mindset. So I look forward to getting to work with Greg some over in Taiya Money Mindset.
Taiya Money Mindset.
All about money, but money can be a component of it. It's this interesting little dichotomy with money that we have, because I don't want to be one of those spiritual teachers that's always out there pushing law of attraction and pushing, learn to get rich with spirituality or law of attraction, because I have encountered in my own personal life having a lot of money, manifesting a lot of money, and being very unhappy. So I'm always about happy first.
Right.
Loving yourself first, happy first, joy first. And so from there, I created the Taiya practice. And in the Taiya practice, we've really come to understand that everyday joy and clarity are the highest vibration that we can achieve in physical, because that is the highest vibration there is. So this source connected joy and clarity that I talk about all the time is such an amazing place that you get into that space and you don't need anything else. You don't need to take your COVID weight off, Debbie. You don't need to stop baking, David, although I did stop baking. I do feel better since I'm off sugar and flour for sure.
Are you off sugar and flour completely?
Yeah, I'm off sugar and flour. I'm not all the way on keto. Somebody mentioned keto earlier. I'm on and off keto a lot. I love keto. I feel amazing when I'm on keto. I lose weight when I'm on keto. But like all things, I get bored. I plateau. The vibe goes up, the vibe comes down, that sort of thing. And the key to losing weight and keeping it off is having a plan for what's next when the thing you're doing now stops working.
Yeah.
And the man that just sat here and said that he gained a lot of weight over keto, you may not want to hear that from me, but I have lost weight and kept most of it off for a very long period of time. And I know how to lose weight. But my journey right now is to feel better and to love myself however I am, and then get back into whatever health scenario I want to be in. The main thing is feeling better right now, because I was eating a lot of flour and eating a lot of sugar there for a little bit, and I was in pain a lot of joint pain, lethargic, and now I'm peppy, I'm energized, I feel great. I feel so much better when I cut that stuff out of my diet.
Yeah, I do too. And it's a fact. I have, over the years, I rarely ate sugar, no soda. I still don't do soda. But it's choice. Look, David, I mentioned Del Taco. My other favorite's In-N-Out. If you're from
I'll go in
California,
and out. Del Taco lost me though when I went and ordered a burrito and there were French fries in my burrito, and I'm like, no.
oh, that's the California style thing, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of gross.
yeah. I'm from Texas originally, and you don't have burritos with French fries going on.
You don't have burritos, but okay. Well, I could tell you,
There are
but
things that are very California. Chicken and waffles. I'm from the South. Chicken and waffles are not Southern. That's a LA thing.
chicken.
It's everywhere now, but it originated in LA. It's not a Southern thing. I never heard of that as a kid growing up in Louisiana and Texas.
No, I don't think so. Okay, but all those things are truly so healthy eating is about the food that fuels you. And I know this. It's about what fuels you, not what's feeding me. And if I go on what's feeding me and just off what I want, period, I get stuck in an old bad habit. It's an old habit.
Well, yeah, you're eating to feel good instead of feeling good first and then eating for fuel, which
Right,
makes
eating.
yeah.
Yep. So the eating.
Unfortunately, I love to cook, and during COVID, I have really gotten back into cooking. And then I took up baking. I'm stepping away from baking a little while. The KitchenAid mixer is back off of the counter now, which is a good place for it. But I love to cook, and I love for food to be good. But you're right. If you are not feeling good and you're eating to feel good, then you're going to get yourself into a situation that you're probably not going to like. But that applies to anything.
Yep.
Food, alcohol, drugs, sex, porn,
all of it.
Gaming, anything that you're doing to distract yourself to feel better because you don't feel good in the first place. That's where Taiya comes in. We're going to keep plugging Taiya here. So the whole thing about Taiya is that you learn how to be joyous and feel good in what is.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people hear that and they've studied enough law of attraction, but they think, well, gosh, that's going to stick me there. But it doesn't stick you there. It doesn't stick you there at all. What happens is when you learn to feel good in your now and love yourself as is, and get into that place where you don't need anything else, you eliminate the vibration of need.
Yeah.
Which is not a good place to be, because whatever the vibration of need is just going to keep you in a constant loop of needing it.
Always.
The universe only answers yes. So if you need something, the universe is going to say, yes, you need it, and you're going to continue to need it. So getting off of that subject of what you think you need to be happy and figuring out what you need to do in your life just to be happy as is,
mm-hmm.
with the current bank account, the current job, and the current body, and the current relationship or lack thereof, or whatever it is, that's the key to true happiness.
Right.
And then from there, abundance does flow. That's why we say awaken to abundance. You do this work, you awaken spiritually, and your abundance flows. And yes, very often your idea of abundance may shift, but we're not about demonizing money. We all chose vibrationally to manifest into this place and this system of currency, understanding that there would be challenges in this environment, but also understanding that it takes money to do a lot of the things that we want to do. But the fear around money and the demonization of money, all of those things create this scenario where we're cutting ourselves off from abundance. And to me, abundance is not money in the bank. Abundance to me is being able to travel and do the things that I want to do, live where I want to live, have the kind of car I want to drive for me, not to impress other people, have the things and experiences that I want to have in life. Because this life offers lots of things that are material, that are fun, but it's not everything. But once you get to this practice of loving yourself and detuning judgment and fear from your life, therefore being able to love all that is, then from that perspective, you can still partake in anything that you want to partake in.
Absolutely. It's a matter of fact, I see Michelle, that's a great question. Taiya stands for Trust Your Abundance. If you this is all of these practices that we learn in Taiya, I last year at this time landed in Hidden Valley Lake this time last year, David. Christopher and I, prior to that, were somewhere else. Weren't even sure, but a year and a half ago, didn't have a clue, honestly, where we were going to land, where we were, whatever. This practice works, and it's very simple. I live in Huntington Beach now. I'm 2 miles from the beach. I have a 3-story house. Well, it's a townhouse, but it's bitchin'. I walked into this house. I literally was handed keys hardly before I had to, I mean, I hardly even had to fill out an application. My car that I bought, David, I kid you not. I said, okay, I've been putting this off and putting this off and putting this off, and I must buy a car. I must buy a car. I have to do it. I've got to bite the bullet, take the responsibility on, and do this, right? I I swear, you guys, it's all about the work and vibration you're doing, and this is what trusting your abundance is like. I didn't look at it anything other than I looked what I wanted, saw, okay, I knew I wanted these things to be included, and boom, boom, boom. I swear to you, I found the car, picked it, had a phone call, ran a thing, done. Went to the dealership the next day, handed them a check. They handed me the car. There was no like it was so easy that I swear to God, you guys, it was so easy that even I was pinching myself going, it was one of those moments where you feel like you're winning the lottery every single day of your life. And if you want to improve your life, again, I highly encourage you to get into Taiya Boot Camp, because that's what life can be like, winning the lottery every single day of your life. Every day I am in so much gratitude. Like, so right now we were talking about a whole lot of things, and all of a sudden I'm just filled with this grateful beingness of remembrance, because I just went back, and this is a huge tool. You go back and remember a time where you were and where you're at now. And like in my case, Jesus, man, you guys, if I could do this, and I can't, it wasn't, I didn't have some job set up or whatever that was gonna like give me this. Like, I knew this money's coming. No, I had to trust the living bejeez out of source, out of this
It's
universe.
amazing when you try,
Man.
and Taiya is TYA, trust your abundance. So
Yeah.
when you learn, and the reason that, and I came up with the name Taiya through some guidance, I'm sure, but I came up with the name
Right.
Taiya because I created this practice for myself, and it was way beyond just meditation. Meditation's a little sliver of it, but there is forgiveness, and there is source, and there is setting of intentions. There is understanding where you are vibrationally at all times as a habit of being.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is beyond forgiveness. The forgiveness component of Taiya is full appreciation of all of your transgressors, and it's a powerful practice. So that's a big thing that we do in the Taiya practice, is we identify our transgressor energy and we find the appreciation for it. Because when you find the appreciation for it, you detune it. And when you detune it, you solve whatever obstacle you've created from there. So it sounds complex, but it's actually very simple. And it's something that once you start implementing this as your way of being, your whole life changes. There are other people on. Erica is a graduate of Taiya Boot Camp. It's Taiya J. Thank you, Erica. And let's see who else was on earlier that has been through Taiya Boot Camp. Luke just referred somebody that joined Taiya Boot Camp today. Carrie is a graduate of Taiya Boot Camp. Terry Steele is on via YouTube. She's a graduate of Taiya Boot Camp. So these are all Taiya Boot Camp graduates that are in here interacting with all of you right now. And so what Taiya does is it gives you this set of tools to operate your life on a higher level at a higher frequency. Right. And when you raise your default vibration, life just gets better naturally. And it's not always about material things, but it can be. And very often the material things that we thought we needed, we stop needing them and even caring about them. And then suddenly they start showing up with ease. And the tools are pretty magical. You know, we can change the way people behave toward us, which is incredible, but you can. You know, it sounds very woo-woo and insane, but everybody has the power to do this. You can change things on a dime. You know, I told the story last week about this business deal that I was involved in, and it was quite a bit of money. And Michael thought the whole thing was falling apart. And I said, no, we're not going to go down the spiral. We're going to get on the phone and we're going to find a solution. And we got on the phone, and the solution was so easy, it's laughable. Right. It was like one little thing that we needed to do, and boom, you know, the whole thing opened and manifested. It was insane how easy it was.
Well, that's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and it's a lot of money. It's a whole lot of money.
Yeah, that was a lot of money. Hey, David, mark my words, and mark my words to everybody that's watching. I'm going to come on soon. You watch, and we're going to have manifested a whole lot of money. Somebody asked, what do I do? I run a broadcast network called Spirituality Gone Wild. I'm also a marketing person, and I'm a lot of things. Gratitude alchemist and a graduate of Taiya boot camp. But I do a lot of things.
Well, the big thing is you're
Yeah.
taking your spirituality gone wild and your academy, you're taking that onto Roku, and you're producing a television network that is spiritually focused, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm getting some messages right this very second that we have more videos that were just added to our brand new Roku channel, which is exciting, and it's been up there for a minute, but I'm not ready to direct you guys there until probably maybe Monday or so, and then we'll start doing that. You'll be able to find the stream of David on Roku as well and Apple TV. So that's a really cool thing. I mean, there's so much happening. It's nuts, but I can tell you, what I know is for sure is it takes practice and it takes tools, and it isn't just a plug. Like if somebody says, well, how did you do this in your life, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's not a cookie cutter answer. It's a do the practice, do the work, and life will follow to it's really your perspective that starts shifting. And the minute that happens, like all of a sudden you start seeing things differently and everything becomes different. Wayne Dyer used to say, change your thoughts, change your life. And he wasn't playing, he
Well, we
really,
are
yeah,
literally the stream has gotten really deep into this.
yeah,
I don't think we're bringing the stream in today, and I think that's okay. But they've gotten into the deeper into the fact that we are all expressions of source consciousness, meaning this is an experience that we're having from consciousness. It feels real, it feels physical. We're in linear time, and there's nothing wrong with just focusing on that, because this is the experience that we're having. But our consciousness is creating the experience. And when you start doing these little mind-bending things like changing your vibration and changing the behavior of other people toward you because you've changed your vibration,
yeah,
and you do it instantaneously. I can change the way traffic is treating me. I can change the way people in retail stores are behaving around me because of my vibration, because of what I'm attracting. And you realize how much you really are creating this reality. So much of it is created by default because we have this expectation of this habitual scenario where going to the store is going to be like this, and going to work is going to be like that, and interacting with our family is going to be like this. So we recreate the same scenarios over and over and over again. But there is a way to disrupt that. You may not want to disrupt everything, but there's a way to dial into the things that you don't want to experience anymore and
right.
disrupt that vibration and change the experience. And there are people on here that have gone through boot camp that know what I'm talking about because they've done it. You don't graduate until you do some of that work and you see how truly magical we actually are.
And I will promise you this, if my life starts flipping on me at all, or I even perceive that, oh, what's going on like that, I know I have to get my booty back and do some Taiya work. I've got to get back and do some of my practices, because I mean, it's just how it is. You're right. We get going to the store. Maybe it's shifting something really small, and there's something really easy everybody could do right now to shift one thing in their life, just to give it a shot. Go a different direction to wherever it is that you go to every day, whether it's a park or it's to the store, or however it is. Find a different route and go a different route, just to see a different set of scenery, just to see something new, and be open and allowing and receiving for that awesomeness. But you're right about how people treat us at the store, how people treat us wherever. It is all our own vibration. It emanates off of us, and people respond to what they're picking up, not what's coming out my mouth. It's what they're picking up. We all respond to what we're picking up around us. Have you ever walked in to a building and just felt a heaviness and wonder what the heck? Have you ever walked into a church though and felt this light and air because they're in there and they're worshiping? Forget that about any of the religious connotation here. Just the fact that you're in somewhere where everybody's in the vibration of an uplifting moment together. You can feel it. You go up with it. You can't help it. If you are in somewhere where it's downtrodden, you pick that up. If you are tuned in, then you can feel what's happening. Now, the sweet part is understanding that you can shift that yourself, that even if you walk into somewhere and if you're feeling heaviness, you have the ability to mind your own vibe. So that means when I walk in and I see this thing and you feel, oh, well, so-and-so is here. That's why shit's going to hit the fan. No, that's what you probably don't want to do.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we learned in Taiya, and a big aha from the stream is that low vibe energy is not in and of itself dark or evil or demonic or anything like that. It's energy void of source consciousness is all it is. Our judgment of it is the thing that makes it awful, dark, evil, heavy. So when we go in and we feel the heavy energy, first of all, if we're in a high vibrational state, we're not even going to notice it.
Right? No.
You're not going to notice it. But if your vibe is a little less than high, and this is not the vibrational click club here, we all go up and down in vibration. We're not the high vibers, and we can't talk to you people that are high vibers all the time. That's bullshit. Where our vibe is going up and down all the time. Yeah. So there are going to be times that your vibe is going to be less than high, no matter what you do. And then you are in alignment with coming in contact with some lower vibrational situations. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I do that, I realize, wow, I wouldn't have been here if I wasn't a little DTS, a little down the spiral to begin with.
Right.
And then I can do my work. I can clear that stuff just like that. In a second, I can clear that energy and change the course of that experience in the moment, which is amazing. And all of you can learn to do that. It's amazing when you do that. And I have manifested big houses and fancy cars and clothes and trips and fine wine and all that stuff. And I can tell you, out of all that stuff, I've manifested true love. I've manifested, just about anything anybody wants to manifest in their lives. And my favorite manifestation is that source connected clarity and love of all that is. Mm-hmm. Nothing feels better than that. We all think that we need a fancier house or a nicer car or a better body, and then we're going to feel better. But nothing feels better than that. And I've had it all. I haven't had all. I haven't had a yacht.
Well, that's coming.
I've been on a yacht, but I haven't owned a yacht. So having experienced all of that stuff and then experience just that state of just joy and being in the isness of all that is, mm-hmm. and it's a state of non-judgment. And when you're in that state, and if you happen to turn on the news, you're not going to be plummeting down your spiral about it. You can be in appreciation for all of these beings are having their experience that their soul led them here to have. And the only reason we feel bad about the experience of other people is because we're judging it.
Right.
They shouldn't have that experience. It's not the experience I want them to have. I was talking about my sister today. She's not on Facebook, so I think I'm safe to talk about her. She has a very different life than mine. She likes to stay home. She doesn't travel. She doesn't do stuff. And I'll leave it at that. And I've spent a lot of my life sort of saying, I wish my sister would do this. I wish she would do that. I wish she would be happier. But who am I to say that that's not her version of happiness?
True.
Because I want to travel and I want to be social and I want to go around the world and meet people and do workshops and write books and do all this stuff and be on video with Debbie having fun because I'm like this. That doesn't mean that this is her version of happy.
Right.
And I need to allow her to have the experience that she's having, even if I'm judging it as unhappy. That's just my judgment of it.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
So take that and apply it to every other human being on the planet. Apply it to the people that are storming the Capitol. Apply it to the people that are upset about the storming of the Capitol. Apply it to your aunt that's freaking out on Facebook right now. Apply it to everyone and everything.
Everyone. Don't leave anyone out. Apply it to yourselves, by the way.
Well, the hard one is to apply it to people that are harming other people.
It's a pickle dilly.
Yeah, because that's the inevitable question that comes up. How do you appreciate someone that's a murderer or someone that's abusive in some way?
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that finding appreciation for them from that high perspective is not the same thing as saying, "Oh gosh, I'm so happy they're doing that."
Mm-mm.
It's not that at all. It's more of an appreciation and understanding of what positive and negative really is, what that's a symptom and expression of, and the fact that there's nothing happening on this planet that ends the essence of that which we are. So someone could come in here right now and do me in, and that's not going to stop my soul from being.
No.
It'll end this life that was temporary to begin with.
Right. Well, you know, I've, when it comes to getting happy where you sit, that's the key. Period. You can't, it is finding everything beautiful and right about what's going on. When it comes to allowing other people to have their dark so they get their spark, well, that's even bigger. But when you apply it to your kids,
But people do.
oh no, I'm gonna own it.
Parents are able to do this. It's incredible.
I'm doing it right stinking now, guys. Right now. And it stretches me so hard because I must let them do what they need to do, okay, without judging it and allowing them to experience life, even though I am over there just shaking my head. But here's the thing. Life's really short. Life's super short. Like I trip out sometimes regarding my granddaughter. There's some things, David, that definitely I wish were different for her. But then I have to remember she chose to come in with the parents she has. I will be there for her and be that strength. So what do I have to work on? Being the best me I can be.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can do regarding my children, they're grown, by the way, y'all. They're 29 and 32. My granddaughter's almost 8. So, but I need to allow them to be who they are. And this is a Taiya practice, and it's a hardcore one if you're a parent. I promise you it's going to pull you, it's going to stretch you, and it will. But when you realize once you let go and you trust them to be the people that they are, just because that's just the way it is, and love them where they're at, it just all the drama goes, David. All the drama goes, all the poo-poo goes, all the, the foofy back and forth and whatever, it just goes. I mean, when you leave people the hell alone and allow them to live their life, amazing how the drama goes too, because you see, most of the drama got created when I was trying to tell somebody how I thought they needed to do something.
Yeah.
And
Usually
no,
due to drama, right?
oh my God, seriously, drama, trying to tell somebody that they need to do something a certain way because it's how I'm seeing it is not it. Now, being curious what's real for another human being and what's going on in their life. If I'm curious what's real for somebody else, I'm probably not going to try to direct them to do things the way I think it should be done. I probably am going to just observe. People just want to be loved, not told how to do it, not told what to do. So that's what I got to say about that.
Well, everything goes back to vibration too. So if they're in their bubble of reality, which is their vibration,
Yeah.
they've got a set of beliefs that you don't understand or agree with. You asserting your bubble of reality into theirs is never going to work.
No.
The two bubbles don't just magically merge. Friction, right?
Yeah, this is true. Okay, but in Foo Fairyland they do.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you believe in the whole unicorns, love and light, everybody. Sorry, it just had to.
Love and light is a good thing, but it doesn't solve.
Love and light is a good thing.
Sometimes you gotta put on the more serious stuff and get a little beyond that, because just being in Rainbow Fairyland all the time, we're not going to be there.
I love
up and down in vibration. We all do. We're in a polarized environment, but coming to fully appreciate that is true happiness. Because Rainbow Fairyland is you taught me this term, bypassing. Years ago, you taught me this term. I didn't even know what that meant because I didn't know all these spiritual words. I just
Oh, we were talking about bypassing. Okay.
Yeah, you taught me what bypassing meant. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I totally get that because this whole idea of just focus on what you want, don't ever focus on what you don't want, just be happy all the time. That doesn't work for anyone.
No, it
That I've
actually.
met. Maybe it works for somebody, but I have not met anybody for whom that works all the time because we're vibrational beings and we're going up and down in vibrational flow. And what I love about Taiya is we've created these tools to work in vibrational flow because the vibrational flow is why we're here. We are in physical to overcome obstacles and create new things in the overcoming of obstacles.
Yeah.
That is creation. If we didn't have obstacles, we wouldn't create. If we didn't have obstacles, we wouldn't grow. We wouldn't evolve.
So I grew today.
Yeah. You grew into a Airbnb host that's not going to allow smokers anymore.
Well, hell. Whoa, hell. So David, I've decided to, okay, so I definitely it's time to stop chewing so much. And just saying, for me, because I think it is time to start dating again. David, I think I need to manifest. I'm going to manifest a boyfriend. I have been single almost 6 years. I think it's time.
So the manifesting of a boyfriend,
Yes.
you cannot be in the vibration of need.
I think the holidays brings that. You know, when you're single and the holidays come up,
Yeah.
I felt it a little bit, maybe a little bit more than.
Yeah, but is that because the society is programming you that you're supposed to have a boyfriend? Are you watching too many Hallmark movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay,
You
but
can
that's
do
what
it. You can do it, but don't let it take your vibration down. So if you're watching that and you're judging yourself against it, saying that I need you to be just like the executive from, what is it? The executive from the big city that comes back to the small country town and falls in love with the local tree trimmer. He turns out to be a billionaire. They live happily ever after.
Well, yeah, okay. The billionaire part is all good. Like I'm about.
You're going 24/7 at
I am all about that.
mother's house, and I'm like, the plot is the same for every one of these movies. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I've totally decided that's fine. But okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to write the code for what this person, what I'm looking for. But here's a really special part of this. If I'm not willing to be that I'm asking for, then no. And I'm going to tell you, I ran across, this is what hit me yesterday. There's this guy, David, I have to show you. Oh my God. I'm telling you, Carrie, I see that. Hot as hell. I was like, damn, this guy is like so good looking. It's ridiculous. And I'm thinking, and he just lives down like a couple towns away. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what an adorable person. Let me tell you, the minute that I thought, and there is absolutely no way where I sit right now that that's happening. So look, before I can even manifest that, I'm like, yeah, I have to manifest my body back to normal again.
Yeah, you gotta stop that stuff.
I know, but still,
you gotta love what is.
I know.
Your single, unattached current body. You got to work on loving that.
So what do I hit the jiggle and then sing the tune to Jello to make it happy? I mean, shit, come on. Watch it wiggle, see it jiggle. Let me fall in love with it the way it is.
You got to love it the way it is.
What do we mean by writing the code, David?
Writing a code is a little different. You're sort of mapping out what you want in your life. But when you write a code, you start with how you want to feel. Because everything if you sit down and write out resolutions or goals, it's always about achieving something so you'll feel something. And the feeling is the end result. Well, what we do in writing code is we start with what we want to feel and experience first. So it's feeling, experience, then material, whatever that is. And the key to writing a code is understanding how to step into the isness of your code as far as being aligned with it vibrationally through vibrational flow. Yeah. So you're up in high vibration and it's the beginning of a new year and you're optimistic and you're writing out a code and you're going to make all these changes and you feel really good about it. And then 3 weeks in, you've forgotten all about it. And you've sort of gone right back to how you were before. That's because of vibrational flow. You've got a default vibration that your vibrational flow is going to pull you back to. And the only way that you're really going to change anything is if you disrupt that default vibration. And Taiya and things like Taiya teach you, I don't know if there's anything like Taiya really, but it gives you the tools to disrupt the vibration so that your new code becomes your operating system for your life.
Oh, that was so yummy. And in fact,
code is it's always being tweaked and updated.
That's module 5, yeah?
Yeah, 5 is code.
That's fine. Okay. So, all right, guys. Maybe the hot guy likes Jello. Oh my God, Carrie, you're killing me. Oh Lord, how you doing? Seriously. Okay, so module 5. Carrie, we're gonna hit module 5 tonight. Let's write some code on this on our doodles, man.
So you got to write your. But again, it's not. I want a boyfriend.
Nope.
I want to feel loved and appreciated. I want to have someone to share. The feeling, the experience, then the thing.
The feeling, the experience, and then the thing.
Yeah, we put the cart before the horse. Always, always, always in Taiya because we're creating the reality. So if we're focused on I need a boyfriend or I want a boyfriend, the universe is saying, yeah, you need one. You want one. Sure, here's more. Need and want. There you go.
Right. Hey, but dude.
Focus on my intention is to feel loved and appreciated and connected. And I want to, my things that I want to manifest experience as far as experiences, I want to have somebody I can have deep conversations with. I want to have somebody I can have great sex with. I want to have somebody that I can, have coffee with every morning and never run out of things to talk about.
Yeah. Right.
So get into that. Get into the specifics of the feeling and the all of that before you get into the specific thing.
Totally.
And let the universe take care of it. And don't think you have to be overly specific because the universe answers yes and knows what you are vibing.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
I got to look at it. I'm really excited about a couple of these comments right now, David. I get so excited, and I apologize. I was getting a little interruptive. I want to say to Michelle really quick. She said, check it out. She understands it's in keeping with the science of the mind principles, which I'm pretty grounded in. And I want to dig you right now because I want to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. So Joseph, he wrote in The Impersonal Life.
Oh.
Joseph Venner, back in 1916, wrote The Impersonal Life. One of the only that book and the biography of a yogi was something that Elvis carried on his body. So of course I needed to see what the king would freaking carry, right? David, I remember the first time I met David, and after I got to know him a little, and I asked you, I said, if you read The Impersonal Life by chance? And he says no. And like he doesn't know about Genevieve Burhand or any of that work that's the science of the mind based type of work from the early 1900s. And what's so rad is it's just another confirmation for you, Michelle, and one for David. You guys are both on point because you're hearing such amazing confirmations about what the universe is telling you. What I will say is that the Taiya practice is an updated today version of what you're talking about, because I did all the same studies and I was there too. So I wanted to tell you about that. Then I want to jump over to Mike really quickly, and because this is really freaking, I love you right now. How do you get the feeling of something that you want if you've not felt the feeling of it, like being wealthy? And that's a good one. How do you get into the vibration? Because it's not about the vibration of what you want. It's about the vibration of pure joy. It's about just being and so much appreciation. Go over to your sink and turn it on and let the water come out of it and just feel the softness of the flow of the water. And then think about the people that put the piping in to get the water into your house. You see, the abundance is in the joy that's right here in your soul. It's not the one that's up in your head. And what I can promise you guys is that this practice right here is going to help you to uncover and unleash the dynamite being that you are, and it's inside of you, and any doubts that you have, it's time to undo them. So go check this out. This has been a fun hour for us to really kind of just unpack, unfold, and just chill, which normally David's channeling. So thank you guys for all of your beautiful comments and everything. That's pretty rad.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun hour. It went by really fast and no channeling, but we'll be back next Wednesday at 4 Pacific And we will channel. We channel here 90% of the time. But every once in a while, we just get into a great conversation and we just let it be that. So this was a great interaction with all of you. So thank you all so much for joining. If you want to know more about Taiya, I did put it on the little ticker down there. I couldn't get the little banner thing to come up. But it's the streamofdavid.com/TYA. You can go on there and learn more about the Taiya practice. There's even a link. I think now there's a link to the free masterclass that you can take to learn even more about it. It takes about 45 minutes. As soon as you click on that link, it'll start. And it takes about 45 minutes to complete. So just make sure you have a little bit of time to take that.
Yep.
And then we also have a Facebook group called the Taiya Practice. So if you're not a member, go join the TYA Practice right here on Facebook, and you can start interacting with the whole Taiya community over there.
I love it.
Thank you all so much, Debbie. Thank you so much for jumping on with me, and good luck with your appliance delivery. It's getting dark now, so I hope it still happens for you.
I love it. I just want to do a huge shout out to Steve Weber. If you're still watching, I saw you. And I love you, Steve. You're wonderful. Steve Weber, American Gumption. Catch him on mornings. That was great. All right, guys. Peace, man.
Bye.